Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get into game number 4 of this specified series between Dials and Chiefs. You're right there, Spawn.
I am fantastic. You just said that you were going to say something that you did not say.
No chance. I'm not Michael Hingsing.
No, certainly not. No, getting the torches out here. However, that was a different game for the Chiefs, and they've stuck to the red side. See whether we get double tank jungle bans again.
So far, it's been a win for the team that's been on the red side of the Rift. Let's see if anything changes coming into game number 4. Direwolves again. They are still at match point. They have 2 dominant games in game 1 and 2. Chiefs fight back in game 2 and 3. In 3, they finally pick up their first victory. For now, though, bans, we don't expect them to change too much between the 2 teams. Zac still being banned out by the Chiefs, with Corki permanently banned against Fantix. And Rakan, probably the final adaptation ban for the Direwolves here. And it is going to be.
Yeah, it certainly has to be. I mean, did you see Ejim in that last game? That means that, you know, all of a sudden, Xayah isn't as high a priority for the Chiefs. Doesn't facilitate any of that AD carry positioning. And do they have to get rid of Thresh, which leaves Gragas and Sejuani up? They commit!
Gragas banned, so Direwolves potentially pick up Kalista here?
No, I don't think they do, mate.
Really?
If you do 2.9 thousand damage on Kalista and you lock it in again, whew.
But they have.
Confidence. That is the confidence play right there, Fishery. They say it was an anomaly, an enemy.
An enemy? This is not Finding Nemo, Spawn. I know I'm fish.
No,
but
I think it is. I 100% think it is.
Let's see what the first pick from the Chiefs is going to be in response to this Kalista picker. Morgana locked in for
Tristana.
Ejim.
Please give me the Morgana Tristana.
And Tristana
it looked
spawned
so
Kalista.
good when they were playing at Fish. I just don't understand where this Tristana has gone the whole series.
But just like the last match, they don't have to pick it up early. Instead, Shunfire picks up the Jarvan with Thresh as the bot lane pick of choice for Destiny.
And they said that Shern needed a go button. Well, there it is. We already said that it doesn't look like they favor it. They are off the Jarvan jungle, but just when you thought they were out, Fish, they pulled you back in. And nah, I mean, that's interesting.
Very early for the Chiefs, deciding not to pick up their AD carry here due to Direwolves start banning out a couple.
I mean, I think they can. They can get rid of Xayah. They can get rid of Tristana. That's going to leave you with something like Kog'Maw or Morgana or X. Not Morgana. Someone help me out. Kog'Maw? No, not him. Twitch. That's the guy.
Xayah's the first main. Cassinan banned out by the Chiefs here. So these 2 champions,
Do they get
Corki
rid of
and Cassinan gone.
Jace? It's a good matchup for Jace. I like Jace into nah.
I think if you're Jish, you have to. Just deny Chippy's the opportunity to carry. Deny him to allow Shernfire to do what he did in game 1.
I think you just said, yeah, right, yeah, we can ban Jace. Yeah, there it was.
That's
See, telling you, this is secrets behind casting Fish. Don't make a prediction. See, Sharp's cheating right now. His microphone is squarely in front of his mouth. I have no idea what they're going to pick or ban. Now it's better.
Probably Tristana here.
I think it is Tristana.
And then what did the Chiefs pick up first? They've already
Well, they
got
have
top
to
lane
take
locked
their
in.
AD carry. Because they will not put Swiffer in a bad matchup.
So, Xayah, Tristana gone. Next pick for the Chiefs. Is it Twitch? Is it Kog'Maw? Raze has played both. Not Twitch in this split, but he can play
Thresh
it.
is dangerous.
It is.
Lucian is another option.
Ooh.
Something that we've seen nothing of in the
Caitlyn?
OPL, but have seen big things in the LPL.
But I said Varus picked up in the bottom lane.
See, I was going to say, you know, you have Ashe and Varus, but they're really boring, and then they just do it anyway. Either way, always go with safety, Fish.
Now, Direwolves have to reveal what are their solo lanes going to be. They can still run Jarvan top, who has a decent matchup into Gnar.
Yep.
Flex something in the jungle for Shernfire.
That also would be interesting.
Ooh. They throw the gauntlet. They give Chippies Jax in the top lane.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is going to be a Victor pickup.
Fantix has been very confident on the champion. A good blind pick in the current meta.
Well, it's not for anyone else, right? Just for Fantix, it seems to be.
You'd have to think the 2 players you look to in the OPL to pick Victor in these situations would be Fantix and Luch, but one of them plays it vastly better.
Oh, Luch isn't even here, mate. Why are you just throwing shade like that?
That's exactly my point. Fantix is in the grand final.
Yep.
The final pick for the Chiefs now. Control mage pick up for the Direwolves. What is Swiffer going to play against the Victor in the mid lane?
At this point, just run him on the Morgana.
But instead they go back to LeBlanc.
Makes sense. Double TP worked out. They're going to look to attack the Jax again, is what my gut feeling is, Fish. Frozen Mallet, Black Cleaver, plus LeBlanc. I know you're a big fan of Morgana solo lane still.
Ooh, fun. It's very cheesy.
Fish and I have a strategy, which is as soon as we get a hyper carry, we just put all the eggs in the hyper carry's basket, and then if we don't win, it's their fault.
Karma mid, Morgana top.
Yep, done.
With a Kog'Maw, we're good. Juves has been on the receiving end of my Morgana top once. He did not like it. Camped me the entire game.
Good.
Still
you
lost.
deserve it. But
Bounced on his dead
in
body.
this game, two teams that have very volatile bottom lanes. Thresh actually is okay into Morgana. It's not the best matchup, but if they ever stand on top of each other, you still can fly in, you can still get the flay. I mean, Jarvan, a little bit more early tempo than Sejuani, you would have to think.
Yep.
Top lane, Jax has got great 1v1 scaling. Mid lane, Fantix has already won this matchup. It's going to be interesting, Fishery.
It certainly is. Schönfire as well. On the Jarvan, the desk already said he needs a go button. We were praising his early game slightly because he was able to dominate that mid lane matchup. Jarvan has a decent early game. He's very similar to Gragas in the jungle at the moment. Can scale up. Big Swips again with the stare. He's got the Gnar pickup. He is ready for another big match.
By the way, have you seen the fact? I only saw myself as Cogsworth in Marrowey's tweet. Have you seen the fact that you're the stupid candlestick guy as well?
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I have not seen that.
Banger tweet.
He must have edited
Absolute
that.
banger tweet.
He messaged me and said he was going to tweet it out, but he decided not to. So I told him to go for it. So he's probably just added
both
that
did,
in.
I think, yeah. Just quick Photoshop.
But game 4. Do or die at the moment for the Chiefs. Direwolves 1 win away from representing Oceania at Worlds. And they'd be the first team to do so.
And once again, a very Direwolves-esque comp, Fish. We thought last game was as well. We thought if there's a team comp that will send Direwolves to Worlds, this will be it. However, didn't happen that game. But the best thing if you're a Direwolves fan is you got like 3 more chances. No, you got 2 more chances at it this game and the next if it does go down to the wire. Chiefs running an oddly similar comp to last game.
Ray's now on the Varus pick. Varus has been nerfed quite heavily throughout the year.
And running a really bad Varus skin.
Really? You don't like this Varus skin?
No.
I love this skin.
Really?
I think it looks cool.
How?
It reminds me of Robin Hood.
Okay, so
weird
Raze
ways.
is going to go for the Tri-Brush Award.
Oh,
And that will give away his positioning. So they know someone is there. Swiffer has yet to go for the ward on the red buff that we've seen every game so far, Fish. However, Direwolves do disperse.
So they're trying to read that play from Swiffer, but instead does not work out. They play it safe.
And Chiefs are faking a leash here. Turns out Direwolves will act. No, they're not faking a leash, actually. I lied.
Spooks makes his way over.
Yep.
So we'll get down towards the blue buff. Direwolves do not know where they've started. They will see King of Destiny walk out through the Tri-Brush here if they decide to go for the quick route back to lane. If so, they can deduce that Schönfire started around red.
I mean, they're going to deduce that already because
No,
they're not
they
in
go
lane
long
right
lane.
now. I mean, they still have taken a very long time to come to lane, Fish, is what I'm trying to say.
That is true. Spooks will pick up blue buff first. Schön, after red, goes straight towards top side of his jungle. Spooks will look to clear out a couple of wolves first.
Yeah. Actually, both of these junglers kind of suck at Raptors at this stage of the game. As soon as they get Barmy Cinder, they're absolutely fine, as everyone is that has that very annoying item. Looks like a lot of attack speed being run on both of these guys. Ejim thought that auto attack was going for the creep.
And said he'll take one for himself. Destiny's going to push out this wave really fast. Direwolves should hit level 2 first here.
I actually think Destiny was looking for the Carrot Colossus proc and did not get it.
Ooh, swiper. Almost close enough to retaliate against Shippy's there, but did use the hop to get away from Counter-Strike. Now Schönfire being aggressive.
Yeah,
over a ward.
He is. So we'll see whether Spooks does the right thing and backs away. He's going to keep the aggro tethered for a long time, but top lane being pushed in, bottom lane being pushed in. This is a right move from Spooks to just get out of dodge.
Schön just pokes him slightly with the Q. So aggressive move from Schönfire at the right time, something we haven't seen from Spooks this series.
But now Spooks can race somewhere. Bottom lane's being pushed up. You would think in the 2v2.
Ooh. Potentially run mid lane after that harass from Swiffer.
I mean, Swiffer took a lot of damage back. That's kind of the thing about Victor that's really scary, is when you try and go aggressive on him and he just stands and gets a big shield and turns around and does equally the same amount of damage back to you.
So, Schönfire decided to rush straight towards red buff after picking up the Raptor camp, so majority of it. Spooks still dealing with the Raptor camp pickup. So there's a 3-buff start for Schönfire. He's trying to make his way down towards Krugs now.
Yeah, he wants for the wave to pass, and he could see that Destiny has very much backed away from here. We'll probably be looking for the ward over the top to spot out exactly where Spooks is. Gets him there.
Hooks on as well, denying his quick recall. In fact, wants to stop him from getting out of this blast cone.
Don't know if he's going to be able to.
Both of them missed the blast cone and hit each other.
But you can see that Shern's done a much better job of counter jungling.
Yep.
He's left the Raptor available. He's going back towards the Krugs as well, so he's going to get twice the amount of camps, also 3 buckets. So he's very far ahead in the jungle right now. So good job from Shern once again. Tank junglers seem to be his forte right now.
Really good early start. Swiper topside map against Chippies. Chippies doing so well in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm interested to see whether this is a mana-based matchup, like if it ever does turn back to Swiper. We don't talk about it all that much, but one of the reasons Na's so oppressive is he just does this. He has no resources. Every time he can throw a damn boomerang, he just throws a boomerang at you. And you can see that Chippies has to be a little bit more concerned with the mana.
Chippies doing the right thing, though. In this matchup, you have to be aggressive. You have to keep Na low every time you can.
Chiefs are stacked on each other. It's always risky when that happens, Fishery.
Oh, they get the ward out, though.
Ejim's a big fan of that ward. As I said, when Ejim was on the analyst desk, he sat there and warded for me for about half an hour. Wasn't fun to watch, but he was enjoying himself, Fish. Could have been practicing Dark Bindings instead.
Saves his life there, though.
Oh, here we go.
Flanked behind the Na, who's about to go Mega. Chippies does have to be careful. Hyperproc comes out, but Swiper decides not to go all in from that trade.
Swiper just looks like, I agree with the analyst desk. Like, I think that Swiper looks way more comfortable on a handful of champions that have big wombo combo ults, although now he might die.
He's in trouble. Counter-Strike coming through, jumps away, still gets stunned. Chippies is low on mana and Swiper giving it to him.
Big creep wave there, so that's why Chippies probably didn't want to go in, although now with Shern and Spooks top, this is a big risk for the Chiefs.
Is Counter-Strike back up? They lock down. Chippies flash on him for first blood. Shernfire slides into Swiper's DM and returns a kill.
I mean, still a good gank for the Chiefs because they get the assist across. First blood goes over onto Spooks, who was having a rough game, and the wave will bounce back. Teleport will have to be burnt from Chippies, while Swiper can probably walk it out. So I would argue that that gank was in Chiefs' favor.
Very even trade, like shield there by Ejim. Cute interaction, will still stay tethered, but does not get locked down for CC.
That's why it's not a horrible lane for Thresh. Yep. Obviously, if Chief Raze was on top of Ejim there, would have been able to jump across to him and get a little bit of damage down. The reason they backed away so quickly, though, Fish, was the fact that Swiffer had used teleport to get back into mid lane, whereas Fantix was taking his first shot.
And again. Oh, this time no. Dark Binding lands onto King. Takes
good
a bit of damage. I believe it was Ejim that was once telling me that you used to take some AP Quints on Thresh in this lane and max your hook so you can break the Dark Shield.
Hook, AP Quint, break the shield. Problem is now that Morgana players are annoying and just put 3 points in Q, then max their own Dark Shield. So you can't break it with anything. Like, literally take a sledgehammer, get Syndra, hit the outplay button, and most of the time you still don't get through that stupid thing.
Well, both top laners did decide to walk back into lane.
That's a big call out of Chippies, because as we can already see, Swiper's going to be able to get back ahead in the CS now. But obviously with double TP being an issue, didn't want to go for that. Of course, Swiffer also walked back to lane, so I lied when I said he teleported back. So,
Swiper top side now, as the Ninja Tabby, so going to reduce a lot of damage coming out from Chippies.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I mean, I'm an old caster, Fish. I used to cast Teemo games every now and again, when we would see Teemo rush boots too.
Boy.
And I would kind of say it's a damage upgrade, even if it's defensive boots. And the reason is if you're always in range, to be able to auto-attack, you do more damage. I mean, it's as simple as that, and that's going to give him the best chance to be able to do that. Swiffer, once again, is about 20 CS down. I don't know how this keeps happening, but Fantix, for whatever reason,
Starling on him. Doing a good job in the mid lane.
Doing a great job in the mid lane.
Gold is fairly even, though, slightly in Dial's favor.
Swiffer would not be enjoying this. As Dragon picked up on the first blue buff spawn. What season is this?
This is a Season 1 play, when a Moo jungle was rampant.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, guys. We can do Dragon. They're definitely a blue buff.
It used to be, you know, if you're blue side, you get first pick advantage. If you're red side, you get first Dragon all the time.
Yeah. Back when it used to give you gold. Swiffer needs to be careful here.
Oh, lands the chain, but here comes Shernfire, dashes back out. Takes a big chunk of damage, though.
I think that's when you go back to base. If Shern had have ulted him there, that would have been touch and go. Obviously, Swiffer still has ultimate, still has the flash available, but still would have been very touch and go fish.
Now using the teleport to come back in.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, he's already down 26 CS. He can't afford to go down any further. So we'll just see Swiffer clean up these 7 creeps for himself. And this early game is going not great, but better for the Chiefs.
Still 600 gold down. You'd have to think that's from the natural CS leads across the map. Only Swiper really doing well. This is going to be a big trade. He just went mini as well. Double hyper procs. Chippy's down below half health. Boomerang, wrong way though.
Oh man, depends. Maybe it was a celebratory boomerang.
Whee! Oh, Dark Money lands there.
How did that hit?
Destiny threads the needle somehow.
Now all of a sudden they're going in. Does get pulled back, so ult for ult.
Throws him back in eventually, but my goodness, what the heck was that?
I tell you what, Fish. I've seen some crazy things today. Now Chippy's uses TP to get back top lane. So after that bad trade with Swiper, he's actually the one that gets punished for it.
I was about to, scream if that hook somehow hit. Thankfully, the minions do its job and block it. Shenfire was posturing in the bottom lane. They had a control ward there.
Ejim also went boots too before he went towards Ardent Sensor.
Hopey boots.
So we're not going to have any real Ardent Sensor rush. Generally, if you don't rush Sensor, what we see is we generally see that you're going towards Sightstone because your lane's a kill lane or something along those lines. Also see Raze going towards Essence Reaver. Or IE double attack speed, but I would expect Essence Reaver.
I mean, you can still sit on the BF sword and go Zeal next.
Wow,
wow, big trade from Chippies. Swiper staying in this lane, a bit scary. Schoenfire's here. Swiper needs to back out of there as Spooks goes for the force. They lock down the Thresh. Should be an easy kill pickup for them. No flash for Destiny, and Raze secures it.
And look how confident Raze is. He doesn't throw out the ult. That's a good gank from
Wow. Big play from Swiper, though. Gets out.
And I mean, because he has the TP available, they can look to stick around for this one if they want. Instead, they could also maybe teleport bottom lane and get themselves first turret. Don't know if they're going to be able to get it otherwise, Fish.
Sniper's just walking back towards top side now,
so
so Dire will get first turret.
That's really nicely played out of Shern. I mean, all the credit that we gave to Spooks game 1 about being able to play on the right side of the map, you now have to give to Shern in this game number 4, because he's done exactly the same thing. Has not forced anywhere he shouldn't have.
Yep. Chiefs will respond with a turret in the bottom lane and stay about 600 gold behind despite the proactive play. Big leads from Fantix. Watching this guy play Victor in the mid lane is an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it certainly is. And the Deathfire touch has stopped Swiffer's back like 4 times right now. To the point where he says, I actually can't back anymore.
He's still going to try.
Still going to try. I think that they put Raze in this lane now, so they'll let Swiffer catch this one.
He jumps in on top of Fantix, wants to get him with the chains, but gets a good chunk of damage.
I don't think he wanted to get him with the chain. I think that they want to push this mid lane turret. And we'll see whether they do stick around for that, Fish, because they've brought Ejim and Raze into this lane. And if they land a flash bind, if they land a bind, if they land something like an ulti from Raze, then they'll be able to pick it up, although now the bottom lane is collapsing.
So it is an Essence Reaver picked up by Raze as well. Hook, not on.
Hate to say I told you so, mate. But I did tell you so.
Sidestone picked up by Ejim though, so delaying Ardent Sensor even further. But that does not mean that he's not stacking up gold right now. He's still getting fairly rich in the Morgana.
Yeah, but didn't even go towards the second point upgrade. So
yeah,
this is old school. And you can see the Chiefs now actually say, you know what, let's just go back into our standard lanes. We were winning in that way. We were able to pick up the kill. Our turret is still reasonably healthy. We can get back down here. But the Direwolves did get very good vision, Fish, so that means that they've spotted out all of these rotations and they won't be beaten to any punches. Swiper also needs to be very careful top lane, because Chippies is quite rich.
Sheen pick up for the Jacks on the top side of the map. Schoenfire clearing out a couple of wards, but Scuttle Crab take from the Chiefs. Drag is up in a minute 30, just an Ocean Dragon to fight for. Chiefs already have the first Infernal.
You can see that it's actually this right now on your screen that they want to fight for. It's going to be...
Dashes out, takes damage from it, but doesn't get knocked up, and Fantix still lays down the pain.
Exactly right. Every single time Swiffer wants to get anything done, Fantix just stands and delivers. He is not scared of this LeBlanc at all, Fish. And I don't think he should be, because I think Fantix has shown this whole series that he is more than able to deal with the mid laner of the Chiefs. Depends whether the rest of the team can. Because the big thing about the LeBlanc last game was attacking the split push. That's what put Chiefs ahead. That's what gave them every piece of tempo advantage they had, was being able to go into Chippy's lane with Swiper and continually tie him down. This time around, however, Chippies is actually ahead.
You'd have to say, though, Chippy's on the Jax, not as... It's a bit easier to kill with the LeBlanc than it was the Cho'Gath.
Technically correct, yep. He also might kill you, so
True.
there's that double-edged sword. See, once again, that Direwolves are going towards Rift Herald nice and early. Only 14 minutes in. I think that's why we've seen so many free Rift Heralds this series, Fish, because they're doing it much earlier than what we're used to seeing.
10 seconds before Dragon spawn.
They're going in the mid lane.
Fantix does get locked down, double chain. There is a dark passage. He gets over and back to safety. Big play from Destiny.
We'll give them the Dragon spawn, however. With Fantix that low, you're probably not going to want to fight that one. You can see already that the Sejuani as well as the Varus are in the area. So the Chiefs are going to start stacking up these Dragons. And we already saw that the first one was Infernal. Second one being Ocean will help Swiper out particularly, because he has been taking little trades in the top lane. Also helps out with him being a Krug Goblin. And I didn't quite catch what that next one was going to be, Fish. Did you see it?
Mountain Dragon next.
You did that very smooth. Got the word in his ear straight away. Just, I saw what it was. Come on. It was a Mountain Drag.
Who said someone told me something? I just saw it on my screen spot.
did
Paying
not.
attention to this video game. I mean, while Swiper's still switching against Chippies.
I'm just trying to come up with every narrative I can. It's been a very protracted laning phase, and normally when we say that in a game, Fish, we say that suits the Direwolves, but the Chiefs are just playing this one nice and calm.
I mean, you could technically say they've had the team fights in their favor. Get your last game, every single team fight went into Chiefs' favor. In the game that Direwolves won in game 2, the Chiefs were still winning half those fights.
Yeah, that was a weird one, right? Because they were winning fights, sure, but they weren't really taking all that much from it. They want a pick here. Destiny. No one walks through that area.
They jump in immediately on the Fantix, who cleanse flash straight away. Shermfire tries to jump in. Teleport coming out from Jax.
It's a wasted teleport there.
Flash for flash, but teleport down and the cleanse down from Fantix.
Yeah, that's a big advantage for the Chiefs. I mean, just getting the cleanse and flash out of Fantix means they can play that play again. But Swiffer was so far away that I don't think there was really any way that they were getting back into that team fight. Potentially could have turned around onto Spooks if they wanted to pull Destiny in and throw him. But that was a little strange fit.
Was?
Maybe getting antsy, the Direwolves. I hate to say that because they're such an experienced, great team. I mean, I'm a big fan of watching the Direwolves play League of Legends. I hate that interaction, by the way.
So do I.
Rooted, you can still use abilities, so you can still use that ability to get away. Makes no sense to me.
I think one of the only abilities that gets priority over Jarvan's Flying and Drag is Camille's hookshot. Can't knock her out of it. Kled as well. Yeah.
Funnily enough, every champion that kind of like beats her.
Oh no, King! Double chains. Very close to tethering there, but Destiny with the save once more.
Yeah, exactly right. But in top lane, meanwhile.
Good jump away from Swiper. Still gets tagged. Dark Binding connects from Ejim, but Spooks decides not to go in. Hook misses, and they play around the gravity field quite well.
Yeah, they certainly do. I mean, Chiefs on the edge now. You can see that they're playing this quite nicely. What I want to point out is I don't think that this build from... The reason I normally like Victor is he side lane very well. Here we go.
They've locked him down. No flash, no cleanse. Exhaust used the ball. Dark Binding hits. He's going to fall. Raze gets that kill. They did use a teleport from Swiffer to get into this lane, but let's see what they get next for it.
Yeah, another really strange teleport coming out. Swiffer definitely didn't need a TP for that one either. What I was going to talk about is that generally when you have a look at Victors, you say they're a great side laning mid lane. As soon as they pick up that Lich Bane, they're able to match side lane pressure. However, because he's had to build a Banshee's Veil again this game, is not going to be the same case. Swiffer going to find Shern here. Skips in the night.
That was the smallest flag drag combo I've ever seen.
Just wanted the knock up there.
Didn't get it. Swiffer does get pushed out of the jungle though, means less pressure on Chippy's topside map. However, opens up the Chiefs to do this in the mid lane.
Yeah, it certainly does. A mid lane turret against a control mage is crucial to winning the game. Both of those just missed, but whoa!
Oh, King forced to flash away, but see him, mate. Cool guys don't look at explosions, and Swiffer gets a solo kill.
And for someone that's fallen down 35 CS again, Fish, LeBlanc just does silly amounts of damage to the AD carry. King obviously not running all that much attack speed on his blues, because it looks like Swift is hitting him for true damage, and maybe the difference between Sork Boots LeBlanc and the Merc Treads to a point that we saw last game, running much more penetration.
Potentially. Swiffer, though, having a much better performance here today. Rift Herald was dropped top side of the map, only going to get a single charge. The Chiefs should be very happy about that.
Yeah, it certainly should, especially given the fact that they broke mid lane turret without the Rift Herald going over to them, which against Victor should be nigh impossible. As long as he's standing there with blue buffs, he's going to be able to wave clear for days. And they're up 2,000-ish goldfish, about 1,500 actually, to be fair. Not all that much.
You have to think this is one of the first games where the Chiefs have the team fight advantage straight away due to Jax being a split pusher. Yes, game 1 or 2 was a Camille pick, but Chippy's built Camille like a team fighting champion and used her as a team fighting champion.
Yeah, that was actually a really impressive game out of Chippy's. I hadn't seen him team fight on Camille that well. If you cast your mind back against the Marines, when he was able to pick up the Camille, I believe, he really didn't know how to team fight at all and was getting beaten that heavily in the 1v1 that they just outright lost the game off the back end of that pick.
That's where Archie picked up the Jax.
Yep.
One of the first times we saw that as a big counter.
No, well, Chippy's had played the counter beforehand. So we knew that Chippy's knew about the matchup. He just obviously was confident he could win both ends of it.
The Chiefs, though, must be pumped up now. They've got the goal lead. They can see that the kills are in their favor. They've got double dragon. Rift Herald's been nullified.
I mean, and they're also going to get 3 very useful dragons this game. As we've already mentioned, staying around in these long, protracted lanes means that Ocean has incredible value. Fire, obviously, is a very good Drake. And then to pick up a Mountain next would be good.
They're trying to lock down Destiny as well as Schönfire here. Chains coming out from Swiffer. He has the black shield. Will lock down the Thresh. Gravity field separating the Chiefs at the choke point.
The Chiefs are finally playing confident League of Legends. You can see every single time, even though that was another Xmithy coming out of Spooks, as Juice fondly called it, they're just able to pull the trigger when they need to. You can see Swiffer very confident against Fantix, even though he's down 40 CS, just poking his head in and out, looking for that chip trade. This should result in the Dragon when it spawns, although I'm not sure that the Chiefs will want to outright 5v5 team fight. The way that they're playing the map right now is kind of pulling direwolves everywhere. I don't know that when you're winning by pulling a team around, you just want a 5v5.
Swiper is getting back to safety though, and Swiffer's trying to 1v1. Fantix steps out of the gravity field. Chaos Storm is used. Spooks locking him down. Might be able to pick up the kill. Oh, Fantix styles on Swiffer again.
He's out.
Dark Passage brings him out. Spooks will dodge the hook. The rest of the Chiefs trying to collapse, but my goodness, the MVP of this split steps up in a 2-on-1, the second time in this series.
And they didn't need to go for it, Fish. That is what is so strange about that. They had complete vision control. Just wait for Spooks to have the ultimate back available. But Fantix, one more time, insta-cleanse, able to take the 1v1. He is so damn good at this game of League of Legends and will also get his team a dragon.
Direwolves will look to take down Mountain Dragon as the Chiefs lose tempo. One of the first times in this match.
They are, however, looking to collapse onto Chippies. He has the ultimate available.
Jumps to a ward, he's okay. Spooks will sweep this one out, but still Mountain Dragon falls for the Direwolves, and they are only 800 gold behind the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge turnaround. Just when Swiffer was starting to get rolling, and you could feel some real momentum building in this series for the Chiefs. Fantix just says no. I mean, he's 60 CS up, Fish. He's an absolute freak show.
He wants to go to Worlds.
He deserves to go to Worlds. Even if Direwolves somehow lose the next 2 games, Fantix right now deserves to go to Worlds.
He is by far the best player on the server right now. Yes, Swiper, most improved, stepping up top lane. He's doing fantastic in this entire best of 5 series. Fantastic during the gauntlet by Fantix all round. Entire split, he's barely had a bad game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if Swiper also has another game like game 2, he has a very good case to put forward to the OPL judges for that award. Of course, one of them not being me, so please tweet at the other members of the judging panel. Absolutely nothing to do with this year's awards.
Now the Chiefs still looking to get some...
I mean, he's also 30 CS up.
Yeah, he's doing really well in this matchup against Chippies. He's on the Team Fighting champion as well. Looking for a very early Randuin's Omen. Yeah. Not going for the Frozen
Mallet. He's going to be able to get bottom lane, however, before that turret drops, it looks like. Chippy should be able to just sit there and wail on this one, Fish.
That's going to fall.
So that will put the Direwolves back at dead even. This game is absolutely all squared up. God, I love when Mats goes my way. Just a big fan of it.
Swiper now going to return into the bottom lane, getting a bit of tankiness early against the Jax, Java, and Callista combo.
Feels like he's probably going to be team fighting a little bit earlier this time around. They've been using the double TP a lot. Also probably gives him some good survivability in the 1v1 versus the Jax. Doesn't want that to go the wrong way, Fish.
Good slow from the Randuin. Stops Chippy's advances as well on the first jump.
That's
Raze.
Crucial. The more Raze can pop the Banshee's Veil out of Fantix, the more nervous he has to be of, you know, Sejuani, the ultimate that can come out of Ejim, as well as Swiffer, Raze. I mean, there's just CC for absolute days everywhere.
Swiffer jumping in on top of Fantix. That's a double jump. Dark Passage is there. Gets the procs, but Fantix down to half health now. Yeah,
wonder if he goes back top lane and that's enough to force in on that turret. I think Spooks needs to stay around mid lane and help his trio out. But at half health, I don't think Fantix can go near Swiffer, sorry.
Swiffer does have teleport, so someone will be sent top lane to match this. Potentially. So 1-3-1 coming out of the Chiefs with their team fighting team comp.
And they have to hope this gives Swiffer some form of advantage, because he's down in levels, down in kills, down in items. I mean, he's absolutely down in everything. So maybe, you know, some solo experience from a turret and those creep waves is going to start helping him out.
They send Fantix up top side of the map to deal with this.
But he's going to deal with it in a different way. He's going to catch when it hits turrets. So he's not going to... Ooh, red buff here. This could be the change.
Locks him down. Hyperproc comes out as well as the Randuin slow. Teleport coming in from Swiffer. Flash wave for Swiper. Blast code's not there. Chippies smacks him with the hockey stick. Swiffer's trying to chase him down. Double distortion use. Teleport use. But the one-on-one goes the Kiwi's way.
Certainly does. And the red buff was what he needed to turn that one on its head, Fish. Straight away, he gets the very big duel. And now Baron could be the objective. See,
teleport.
Chiefs actually looking towards it. Swiffer's not there, however. Swiper's still 20 seconds away. And Direwolves can just play with this as long as they want.
They just need to stall out for Swiper to come back up. The rest of the Chiefs are in the vicinity. Swiper can teleport into this fight, but Baron's so low.
They have to go now. This is going to go down 2,000. It's actually gone, and the Chiefs just back away. That one-on-one out of Chippies might have just sent the Direwolves to Worlds.
My goodness, the Direwolves are so good at punishing teams. That's a single kill on the bottom lane, netting them a Baron against double teleport.
That's huge out of Chippies. What a play out of the New Zealand top laner. Has gone frozen mallet fish.
Oh.
That's a bizarre build, but it is certainly working out.
Swiper can't escape anymore. Jax is going to have more movement speed than him. He's going to be able to slow down the Gnar as well. Jump for jump. And
his jump is more regular. I mean, Jax is going to have his every like 4 or 5 seconds at this stage of the game. Swiper's is definitely not on that low of a cooldown. And the Chiefs, I think, have to look for a team fight.
Swiffer jumps in, has to dash back up. But King very low from that poke coming out of Swiffer.
That was with no passive. All right, cool. So there is still hope that they just kill King. Because that was scarily close, Fish. Scarily close.
And where does Swiper get sent now? He's currently hovering around the mid lane. Jax is pushing bottom side of the map.
I don't think it's that bad yet that they can tower dive him. However, we'll see right now.
Spook's coming through. Chippies has to be careful. Does he go for the 2-on-1? Gets the stun, jumps over the wall, and he's safe. You know, even fights Gromp. Why not?
Exactly right. And now they've got all of the priority over mid lane, so the gold lead's going to get even bigger.
Swiffer onto Shern. Good damage. Gets him to half health, so they have to be careful.
And Raze isn't online yet, so they still have some time to play with. They're going to have an Infinity Edge 80 carry. And Juves was talking about this a lot. As soon as you're Callista and you're against an Infinity Edge user, eventually you get outscaled. You might be very hard to kill, you might be very annoying to deal with in teamfight, but pure DPS, damage per second, you will not do as much as the Infinity Edge user. And that will be Raze in this game.
Ardent Sensor picked up as well for Raze.
Oh, that's big. I didn't even notice that one come in, Fish.
So they have a big power spike here, but look at Direwolf setting up.
Looking for him.
Spook's going to charge over the wall, gets back to safety. They collapse onto Chippies now. Swiffer does have the Dark Shield. Good damage. Good Dark Binding stops him jumping back in.
And you can see how big top lane is. Infernal Drake has just respawned. However, with no TP, Top lane wave being big. Direwolves are going to lose out on a lot here.
However, Swiper's already gone Mega, so he's going to go back to Mini.
Go for this fight.
And they try and force here. Direwolves go for the fight. Spooks jumps in, collapses on Fantic, uses the cleanse instantly. Raze misses his ultimate. Surnefire picks up the Infernal. He drags on in. King wants this fight, throws Destiny at the team. Black Shield's there for Spooks. Hook is on. Swiffer trying to get damage to the back lines. Not going to be the case. Chippies gets that kill.
Yeah, and all of a sudden the Chiefs, for whatever reason, just not looking for those team fights, Fish. You can see they are very low, but without the Mega, with the ultimates missing, that is going to be Dragons completely evened up for Direwolves, and with their lead, looking strong to win this game. 2,000
gold up. Score is dead even, just slightly in the Direwolves' favor thanks to that big Baron power play. But if Chiefs can find the perfect team fight, if Swiper can get in there as a Mega Gnar, which we've seen work for the Chiefs, 16,000 gold behind, 2,000 gold shouldn't matter too much.
Certainly shouldn't, but the Direwolves have the answer. That is the split pushing Jax that you just cannot run from. You cannot hide from. Chippies is a monster this game. He's finally caught up in CS as well. And we've already seen that Swiper just can't 1v1 him.
Oh, he's got a Tiamat as well. Let's see if he goes towards Titanic or Ravenous here. Would really show us how Chippies is trying to play this game.
I think Titanic is always the better option on Jax. I think that the one thing he lacks
he's going for it.
Is wave clear. I think that 100% of the time, Titanic Hydra is a better Jax item.
He's a tank. He's got triple health items with his ultimate. He will be a tank.
Yeah, he will be. I don't think he's going to be the best tank in the game.
He'll bop people.
He'll be like a Renekton.
Yeah.
He's going to be a bruiser. You know, if he ever gets chained up by Swiffer and auto-attacked by Raze, he's going to die very quickly still. Shern is the only real solo tank they have. Destiny's kind of in that position as well, where he's a weird bruiser. But Shern just needs to be able to protect his split pusher now.
Swiffer looking for Fantics. Chain lands.
2 levels behind Fish.
Jumps in, takes so much damage. Surnefire collapses with the Cataclysm. What was Swiffer thinking?
I have no idea. He did no damage. Actually did 0 damage to him there and got blown up. And you can see the Chiefs looking for a play on the other side of the map. There is no play. Swiffer, that's nearly a reportable offense in a game.
They keep making these mistakes, and the Direwolves have shown they will punish you if you make a single mistake. And you already said it, Spoiled. One mistake from the Chiefs would send Direwolves to Worlds, and they are punishing the second one now.
Exactly right. You can see top lane turret will fall down. That's going to make it about a 4,500 gold lead for the Wolves. And unfortunately, with Fantics 80 CS ahead, there's no real way to get Swiffer into a team fight. And now Spooks might have been caught out. He might have to, he doesn't have flash.
Destiny throws out the hook. Spooks will sidestep that correctly.
I mean, he had Moby Boots still active, didn't he? Why didn't he just run at him and play him? Very strange out of Destiny. However, this game is getting tense, Fish. You can see gold leads everywhere for the Direwolves, apart from that 80 carry position. This game is solely on Raze.
Every mistake the Chiefs make, Direwolves have brought back 2,000 gold for themselves. Slowly, it's going to get out of hand. The Chiefs really need a big team fight. We've seen what the Gnar as well as Sejuani combo can do. We've seen how much damage Swiffer can dish out to King very early into the fight. Double cleanse picked up by both Fantics and King means there's no heal for the Direwolves. There's no way to get top back up after the initial burst coming out from Swiffer.
Huh, that's a good point. I didn't even notice King had cleanse.
He is scared.
He is
Dark
very
Binding,
scared.
Raze ultimate.
Yeah, anything.
Oof.
But has still not picked up any form of magic resistance. So no QSS coming out, which we normally see as a third item for these kinds of carries. Swiffer's in big trouble again. Needs to start running now.
Shern's behind him. Benchfell does get popped. Throws out the change. Jumps back to his original distortion. And the base has been dropped. He tries to jump away, but it's catching up to him. The Chaos Storm's there. He does the do-si-do, but Fantics waits for him. He goes on the killing spree.
And that could be Baron again for the Direwolves. One more time. Fantics flexes his muscles and comes up with a kill here. You can see Chippies is pulling out the red buff. But Baron is alive. 4 versus 5, and I don't think the Chiefs are going to look to contest.
Again, another mistake from the Chiefs, and another 2,000 gold advantage picked up by the Direwolves. They're not even close to this. They're not even going to try and contest for this Baron. They pick it up. They go 6,000 gold up, and they're looking to try and push for more.
They certainly are. Now they want the mid lane team fight, and you can see the Chiefs are just heading for the hills. Swiper has to get back in base because they need Nah there to be able to fight whatsoever. And the Chiefs, unfortunately, have just little lost control of this game. It is now a 6,000 Direwolves lead.
And they were in the driver's seat again. We saw Swiffer running around trying to kill people like King. Swiper was holding his own in the 1v1, but Chippies, he took control. Then Fantix took control again. And
Fantix
slowly
is probably
falling apart.
3,000 gold up on Swiffer. I mean, I would think that that would be roughly what 100 CS and 2 kills looks like.
Flame Horizon almost. Chippies is going towards a Guardian Angel as well as his next item.
Swiffer must have Void Staff, so that is a good news story at least. Going to be able to get through some of the resistances. But really what they need is a big 5v5 wombo combo. But problem is, I don't think Chippies is going to let him have it.
Direwolves are not going to let that happen. Look at this. He just walks up to a turret.
Using Counter-Strike early, though, is a really risky call.
Gunblade used, but there's Destiny again to save the day. He's all over the place.
Certainly is, but that's still 50% of Chippy's health. That will take a very long time to come back. He's also going for the GA fish. So now he's not a tank. That's 1,300 gold towards offensive stats that you know is going to help the split push a lot, but potentially could have been towards more tanky stats.
Now, what's the play here? They let Chippies continue split pushing. This turret's at
so.
half health. Baron buff minions are so difficult for Swiper to take down. Instead, they move towards mid lane. This turret is already very low, and King will take it down with the help of Fantix.
Exactly right. Now 7,000 gold is the lead. Direwolves can smell it. It is right there for them to take fish. This could be the first time an Oceanic team goes to World, and it could be the Direwolves. And you can see that they are very composed, trying to pull the Chiefs around Summoner's Rift.
The Chiefs will not go down without a fight, though. Next turret falls, and again, Destiny is there to bail out his top laner. 8,000 gold up. Direwolves go towards another dragon.
Exactly right. And every step of the way, they're just looking measured. They're looking composed. They look like they know what they want to execute upon, and the Chiefs, unfortunately, are just all out of answers right now. It's going to take a miracle for them to come back into this. Double Baron buffs have gone over to the Direwolves. The Chiefs are stuck within their base. Fantix has officially Flame Horizon. Swiffer is 2 levels up, and he's nearly completed his item build, and Raze is calling Swiffer off creeps. I mean, that is a tale of the Chiefs now.
How long can the Chiefs hold out for? How much of a wombo do they truly have against this Jax, who's going to continue split pushing? Because something needs to budge. Chiefs need to make the proactive play to shut down this team comp.
They certainly do, and everything is in Razor's hands. You can see that they're giving him gold. He's the one that has the Infinity Edge.
He's going to a Death's Dance next, it seems like.
Potentially.
Or a Yomu's, but I don't know why you would build that this late.
I would say it's a more of Mount Mortius fish.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to
That
probably go towards Death's Dance with someone that does so much mixed damage.
That should be the pickup. Needs to survive Fantix burst. With that Lich Bane picked up, he can assassinate people.
And now we can genuinely side lane. I mean, before, didn't really push turrets all that quick. Was a little bit more of the team fight threat. Now with the Lich Bane, one rotation probably kills Swiffer. And also, he's just going to tear apart these turrets. And this isn't a 10-stack Dark Seal game like it was last game for Swiffer. This is a 0-stack Dark Seal game.
But again, Direwolves very patient. They let their Baron time out. They got all the outer turrets and only the base remaining
Chiefs
for the
need
Chiefs.
6 items. I mean, Raze still hasn't got himself a Last Whisper. So he has all these really fancy items, but nothing to really cut through either Chippies or Shern in these team fights. So unless he's hitting King, hitting Fantix, which means something's gone really wrong for the Direwolves, he's not going to be doing all that much damage here.
Those Dark Bindings very close from hitting from Fog of War.
Cleanse still available on both carries, however.
Redemption and Locket picked up by Destiny, whereas Mikhail's was picked up by Ejim. They're going to try and collapse
They actually
here.
might go for the fight. Swiffer got hooked!
Oh, the hook is on, and Swiffer has
He's
to
dead.
jump out. He's dead. Swiffer's dead. Direwolves push towards the base of the Chiefs. It could be all over right here.
This could be it. This is the Direwolves looking to secure their spot at Worlds. They take down the first inhibitor, and I don't think they're going to stop there. The captain of the Chiefs is dead, but they do. They back away, Fish.
Very respectful play from the Direwolves. 10,000 gold up now. They catch Swiffer again. That's 3 times in a row they've caught out the captain.
And you can see, he's head in hands. He is absolutely shook right now, Swiffer. He needs something to go his way because right now, everything is going the way of the Direwolves. They're 10,000 gold up. A minute and a half on Baron. That would be the 3rd of their game. And surely, Fish, surely that is the last nail in the coffin.
And it's match point as well. They were already able to win split 1 through this exact same fashion. 3-1 against Legacy. They'll be looking to do the exact same thing here to be the first team to represent Oceania, not only at MSI, but at Worlds as well.
Exactly right. The acquisition from Guinevere Capital. New ownership coming into the Direwolves. They bring over Shern. They have their nice new gaming house. None of it would have meant anything if they could not win the splits, but first place in split number 1, they go to MSI. First place in split number 2, and they are 1 team fight away from going to Worlds.
And Destiny said it best. If you want to beat us, beat us. But Chiefs have not done it this entire split, losing twice in the regular split, 2-1. Now, at match point against the Direwolves, 10,000 gold behind. They need a miracle of a team fight to win this. And they're setting up for one. Swiffer wants to jump in. He gets jumped on by Shernfire again. Collapses with the change. That's some good damage.
I mean, he still hurts. Even though he's 1-4, he still does damage. LeBlanc is always going to be able to pump it out on a single target. However, Baron up in 15 seconds. Chippy's bottom lane. 6-item Jacks. 6-item Chippies. And who can actually stop him, Fish?
Nobody. The Chiefs need to stop him as a collective unit. And even when they land Dark Bindings now, they can't go in. Swiffer jumps in with a Dark Shield for himself. But Spooks is at half health.
This could be it as well. You can see they're looking for the team fight.
There's the Fate's call. Destiny thrown up. Ray's forced to use his ultimate as a defense mechanism.
But look
there.
at Swiper. Swiper's just saying, get me out of this lane.
Swiffer's killed King. This is the team fight for the Chiefs. They're looking for it. Egypt's in the back lines protecting Rays. Teleport's coming in. Demacia thrown down by Sherd. Swiffer in the back lines again. Distorts out. Chippy's trying to take down Spooks. Big Swift's here as well, but he's in mini form. Just keeping Fantix preoccupied. The Chiefs win a team fight by taking down King.
They certainly do, and Swiper's looking for his transform. They're looking to get back into this one.
Super.
Teleport available for Swiffer. He can go back and come back into this. Egypt's being caught out.
Still very healthy on this Morgana. Swiper will be forced to transform here, so can't go for the
Egypt
initiation.
gets caught.
Hooks on. Big Swift has gone mega, but they killed a support. Big Nara into the wall. Chippies goes to the GA. Swiffer jumps in, looking to kill Shernfire, but he will flag drag his way out. Now distorting back in. Can't connect the chain. And Destiny, hook is on. Swiffer is dead. They lock down Rays. Chippies gets that kill, and Spooks is stuck between the entire wolf pack. Double kill for Fantix. They're running towards the Nexus.
And Direwolves will go to Worlds. 4 members dead. Just Big Swift left available. He's going to have to do it by himself, Fish. But I don't even think the top laner of the Chiefs can pull this one off.
Not even his IWNL can stop this push from the Direwolves. They're just waiting for the minions to come back in. Destiny flashes in with the flame, misses the hook, and Swiper watches helplessly as Direwolves take him down. They take down the turrets. They're onto the Nexus. Direwolves will be the first team from Oceania to go to the World Championship.
What a performance out of the Direwolves today. 2 commanding victories, and the Chiefs hit back. Game number 4 not going in their favor, but they still managed to pull it out. A gutsy victory and a well-deserved berth to the first Worlds for Oceania.
Back-to-back champions, split 1 and 2. People said, you know, split 1 might have been a lucky streak for the Direwolves. Might have been off the back of some momentum of bringing Shernfire into the squad. But they did it again in split 2. They were the minor premiers. It was in their hands to take it as well. And they go all the way to the grand finals and 3-1 the Chiefs, who were the historic figures of the OPL, never being to Worlds for Oceania, but Direwolves have done it. Once again cementing themselves as the #1 team in Oceania.
100%. You can see them celebrating right now on stage. As I said, so much changed this year for the Direwolves, but it was the things that remained the same. that were so impressive. Fantix in the mid lane, Flame Horizon Swiffer, Chippies on Jax is unstoppable. And you do have to take a moment to remember the boys in blue, who will actually come back and play again. They're the oldest team in the OPL by a bloody mile at the moment. Swiffer looks broken, and unfortunately for Chiefs fans, today, Direwolves were just better.
They certainly were. Games 1 and 2. Game 1, it was all over nice and early for the Direwolves. Game 2, the Chiefs fought back so hard. 16,000 gold down, and they were winning team fights. Game 3, punished the Direwolves early. But it was game 4 where the Chiefs actually had it in their hands to take control, to have the tempo, getting caught out over and over and over again. And unfortunately, Big Swips has lost his match here today in the grand finals.
Yeah, he certainly has. I mean, once again, you just have to think, like, is that the last time that Swiffer pulls on a Chiefs jersey? What does Ejim do now? I mean, a great of both Legacy and the Chiefs Esports Club. Spooks has played before the OPL was even a thing, and you can see that this loss has hit them very hard. However, you do have to give congratulations to the Direwolves. Direwolves were a team that has been around since the burst of the OPL as well. They were a top 3 team, always Fish. They were never able to break the upper echelon until this year. And 2017 will be looked back upon, and people will say that was the year of the Wolfpack. And Direwolves have absolutely taken the OPL by storm.
And how the tables have turned. Now it's no longer Chiefs and Legacy, the number 1 and number 2. It's everyone else against the Direwolves.
Yep.
And they just look way too strong. Once again, going to be another force to be reckoned with internationally.
But boy, are they a fun team to watch play League of Legends. They always are moving forward. As soon as Shern's on a tank, it's what's the next proactive play? Where can we look to exploit this team? As soon as a team makes a mistake, okay, we're taking the maximum. We're going to play bold League of Legends. Baron after Baron in that game, as soon as they got one pick. Chippies looking for one-on-one fights. In a lane that he was down 30 CS Fish. I mean, I love watching Direwolves play League of Legends, and they're an impressive unit. All 5 members showed up today and were able to go toe-to-toe with a team that, you know, when they had made it to OPL finals, had not lost one yet.
And big shout out to their support staff as well. You know, we've seen the Direwolves practicing their meditation, coming in, trying to work on everything outside of the game. And Sharp as well has been drafting so well for the Direwolves. He has tricks up his sleeve with the Cogmore in the mid lane. He can put Chippies on a team fighter or a split pushing tank if he wants, no problem. He has everything to work with and he uses it so well.
Yeah, full credit to the team. Full credit to Dave and Nathan, you know, the owner and the CEO. Credit to Sharp behind the scenes. I know they have a performance coach as well that they fly over regularly from the UK. That's how committed this team is to winning. I mean, only bigger and better things to come for the Direwolves, you would have to think, as the investment in the OPL starts ramping up. But, I mean, watching them play League of Legends today, this was not a team that was easily rattled. They fell behind again. I mean, other teams would have been thinking reverse sweep against the Chiefs. What a way to go down. But they were just able to stick at it, Fish, and able to get so much done. And, I mean, I just keep going back to it. Richard Sue, I mean, Fantix should take a bow after that performance. He's an absolute bloody legend.
And this is from the winning moments of the Direwolves. Destiny with that hook on Ejim. He should be proud of his performance. Was the coach last split. Now a big shot caller for the Direwolves.
And I mean, Richard doesn't even look pumped up. What are we going to do, Richard? Give me a smile or something. You can see his team's hugging him. He's checking damage. Stop looking at your bloody computer, Richard Sue. I mean, I don't know what's going on there.
And you have to think, if you look at the Direwolves for Season 1, people would call them cocky. They went into MSI and said, you know, we only have to worry about SKT. They came back and they were humbled by the devastating defeats there.
Let's just stop it there. You win back-to-back splits. You finished first twice. You mean as cocky as you bloody want. I mean, if people can't take it from you, Fish, you're allowed to say you're going to win because time and time again they have won. And I mean, they said to the haters, if you think you can beat us, if you think we're arrogant, come at it. I mean, you get a couple of shots every split, and then we'll be in the grand final waiting. And credit to the Direwolves, they said they were the best, and today they proved they're the best.
And now they're going to Worlds as back-to-back split champions in the OPL with international experience, and they're going to be a strong force to be reckoned with.
You can see the Direwolves holding up the trophy there. Destiny with the biggest piece of it. He's all over it. Fantix, I think, has a fingertip. Come on. But, yeah, well-deserved victory. 2017 Split 2 champions will be the Direwolves.
Just passing it around throughout the rest of the team. Chopai doing some doing some lifts with the trophy as well. But
Yeah,
they look happy.
They look very happy, and they should be happy. I mean, China probably going to be one of the biggest worlds we've ever seen fish. Stadiums that are huge. I mean, Bird's Nest is where the final will be. I would be very surprised if they make it that far. But still, some great. Come on, mate. Now I've got the analyst desk laughing at me. This is very hard to be able to perform on. But I think that, going to be able to go to China and look for some redemption after what was a really shocking MSI. They talked a big game in MSI, and it did fall apart. But now, looking towards that next step, Direwolves going to be able to have their international redemption. Should be an absolute pleasure to watch. Yeah,
this time we've experienced as well as two very solid performances from the Direwolves in both Split 1 and Split 2. Congratulations to them. For now, though, let's check in with Destiny, who is standing by with Sarianne.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm standing here with Destiny. Congratulations on winning the OPL Grand Finals. The Chiefs looked so dominant throughout the gauntlet, but what were you expecting coming into this series?
Look, we did expect Chiefs at their best. I think they gave their best performance, and obviously today it wasn't good enough. I think we worked harder than them this split, and I think it showed here today. It
seems as though the Direwolves have an amazing behind-the-scenes support team. Do you feel as though these people, such as your performance director, have made a huge impact on your results this year? Yeah, definitely. A huge shout out to Coach Curtis Sharp. He's been a real big help. Rippy, Dave, Rodney, all our sponsors, M-Wave, Twitch, LG, they've all just been a good help. The investment has really paid off for them, and I'm very happy that we showed up to what they gave us. So yesterday on the OPL show, you came out with 2 awards, the best haircut and also the best banter. Were you expecting these little light-hearted wins? I honestly didn't expect to win. I don't think I have the best hair. I think Fantix has the coolest hair, but yeah, obviously he wasn't eligible. But yeah, I'm just really grateful for what's happened this year. At one point, 2 years ago, I thought I was going to quit after I lost to Chiefs. And now here I am back again and beating them for my revenge season. Well, congratulations on today's win, Destiny. You deserve it. But for now, we're going to throw it back over to Hingers and the guys at the desk.
Congratulations there to Destiny.
I love him.
And also an interesting thing, he goes, look, 2 years ago I was going to quit when we lost to Chiefs, and everyone on that team everyone on the OPL has stories about losing to Chiefs and being really frustrated. Choose.
Yeah, I mean, I beat them once, and then I lost against them for the next 2 years. I'm happy to see that there's a new dog. Yeah. I'm happy to see that people like Destiny, an actual dog,
an actual canine.
Dire dogs. But I'm just happy, Mitch, as he said, he was going to quit 2 years ago, and here he is, on top of the world, going to represent OCE. That's such a nice story. And,
straight to the bird's nest, baby.
Yeah, and I hope they do really well.
Well, one thing I want to say, actually, is congratulations to the Direwolves.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people didn't write them off. They did win the split, but I think a lot of people questioned their ability to win the split, and they proved a lot of people wrong. But what I want to say is I just want to say to the Chief members that obviously lost this game, this series, and it may or may not be the last game for some of them. I just want to say a huge congratulations to them for the career that they've had and the effort they put on today.
Absolutely.
As players coming up, myself before I was in the pro scene, I idolized certain players on that team.
Same.
And it was just a real privilege to play with them. So I think they have a lot to be proud of, even though they lost this game. But I think that you should send your support to the Chiefs. They have been the pinnacle of OS for so long, and I think as much as congratulations Direwolves, I think everyone just send your well wishes to Chiefs.
Absolutely. Well, standing by right now with Sarianne is the MVP of this split, Richard Fantixu. Let's check in with them right now for the second interview.
Thanks, Hingers. I'm standing here with Fantix. You've just picked up your second back-to-back OPL win. How are you and the team feeling?
I just right after when the moment we won the game, I still couldn't believe we actually did it. So I guess I'm just feeling a bit shocked right now.
Yesterday in the OPL show, you came out with the MVP award, the Radiant Medal. Yeah. Do you feel as though your hard work's finally paying off?
Yeah, for sure. I think this split I've worked harder than any player, and yeah, I'm really glad my efforts showed.
Well, the Direwolves fans were out in full force today. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans and the people that have supported you on your journey?
I'd like to thank all the Direwolves fans, especially the Wolfpack founders. They've always had our backs, and without them we wouldn't have gone this far. I also want a special shout out to Swiffer. I know this loss is going to be really hard on him, and I just really want to thank him because in my times of slumps, he's really been a mentor and just a good role model to look up to, and yeah.
Well, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Thanks for talking to us, Fantix, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Fantix as well there, and humble in victory, I should say. Thanking Swiffer for his contributions to his own personal development.
Yeah, I think Swiffer's been like kind of the father figure when it comes to mid laners. He's been here since the very beginning. He was here before I was playing, and everyone really looked up to this guy. He was undisputed the best player in OCE for about 3 years.
Yeah,
and you can just see in this series, Fantix performs so well. As he said, he's probably the hardest working player, and I would give great credit to that because this guy has shown up really well this year. But yeah,
I dislike the I was the hardest working player. I feel like it takes away from what everyone did this split. Like, everybody worked hard. You can't say you played 5 more solo queue games than me, did a few more hours of VOD review than someone else. Like, I think everybody worked hard. Everyone in this OPL, in this split, this season of the OPL, this was the best season of the OPL, and everybody worked really hard.
See, I agree with Spawn. Like, I think if you win, you were entitled to claim what you wish. Yeah, so like if he won, and you saw that laning phase as much as I did, he literally did so well every game.
No one's denying
MVP
that.
performance.
No one's denying that.
Yeah,
no one's
that's
denying
what I'm
that.
saying.
I think Direwolves have set a precedent for the OPL, which is really good in regards to coaches and
mentality,
performance coaches,
infrastructure.
They've set a precedent, and this is what you need to do to win, which is really good. But I don't think you can say you worked harder than everyone. I think everyone in this split worked really hard.
It's definitely a bold. It's definitely it's not the nicest thing to hear, but I feel like he's in a position to say it.
Sure, yeah, he can.
Sure,
but I'll disagree.
All right. Well, standing by with Sarian right now for our third interview is jungler for the Direwolves, Schönfire. Let's check in with him now.
Thank you, guys. I'm here with Schönfire, who absolutely popped off in games 1 and 2. What did you think of your performance today?
I was thinking about all last night. I got 6 hours sleep, but I think it was worth it. I'm not sure. I came up with these random ideas at the last minute preparation, and I think it just paid off. I said to myself that I was gonna get MVP, even if no one tells me I got MVP. I know it myself. I'm gonna carry this team and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win grand finals. So it just happened to come true, and I'm just happy that my hard work has paid off, and I'm also happy that everyone's come together. Everything's just worked out. We dropped one game, but we were able to adapt really well. So I'm really happy about that, and I think props to Chiefs for making us really work hard for the wins. Every win was really close. So props to them for taking the game and making us work the other 3 games.
Game 2 was so intense when you lost that team fight, but then you rushed back to Baron and you were able to smite it off them. Was that your animal instincts kicking in there?
Yeah, it's like scrim culture. You don't try to smite against me in a 50-50. So that's what I think they messed up on their part. But at the same time, I'm really comfortable in the high pressure situations because I can smell fear. So I know when they're scared about it. So I know. So that's just that.
Well, we opened up a question to our viewers watching, and JDude TV has tweeted in asking how the team house dynamic and the fact that you're now competing in a studio has affected the teams this year.
I don't know about studio because this is my first time. I think Worlds is going to be crazy because there's going to be 40,000 fans. So this isn't much compared to what we're going to play with. So we're going to have to adapt there. But like Destiny said, the coach, Curtis working really hard, Jonathan Brown, our performance coach, everyone that's coming, Rippy, Nathan Mott, he's the ringleader. He does everything for us. He cleans the house. He does all these things that we should be doing, and he's always got our back. So I'm really happy how things have come together because I think everyone's got each other's backs in our circle. So I'm proud of everyone.
Well, it sounds like you're going to have a great time tonight celebrating with everyone. Thanks for talking to us today, Schönfire, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Schön. And you see his mind immediately turns to Worlds. What's next? He wants to know what he's going to be doing in front of those 40,000 fans in stadiums across China as they head to... Well, they've got, a month and a half now, and they're pressed already all day.
Yeah, they definitely have a while. And, we didn't get to really see Direwolves for the past 3 weeks before tonight's game. So... I would say that they're good at preparing. They're good at like maintaining practice and revealing like cheesy picks like the Cogmore. So I think they have a lot of time to prepare for Worlds.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to Schönfire. I guess a man that went to Korea for a year and hit rank 4 and just had his mind constantly ticking about League of Legends. It kind of goes to show what his kind of work has done with the Direwolves. He's off his mind. He just goes into overdrive, and like he may not necessarily be playing solo queue, but he's just thinking about the game and thinking about ways to win the game. And look at Direwolves celebrating. There's Dave Harris in the background, really proud. Good on him.
Is that Rippy on the Snapchat as they take in the win?
Yeah,
that's him.
He's a Jake Spawn Tiberi specialist on the Snapchat.
We can see the handshakes.
I would like to shout out their support stuff. I don't know what Direwolves like do in the background, but they definitely have like an amazing support stuff coming out of Dave, Nathan. They definitely do something different. And I think, as you said earlier on, that every other OPL team needs to start like realizing that it's not necessarily the 5 people on the Rift.
Yeah.
It's also like your coach, your analysts, your performance staff. There's a lot more to it.
And can I just say that all of those people who are in the support staff are deeply involved in their preparation for games. I know as someone who's received emails from Dave Harris that he's deeply involved in their preparation, and potentially he'll back them up when someone, maybe me, says some negative stuff about them in the OPL show 6 months ago. It's fine, whatever, I've moved on. But it speaks to the testament they're all committed to this one achievement, this one goal, going to Worlds.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to just talk about the game for a bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, get off that, Hingers. Get off the... Talk about the game.
What are you actually talking about? No, but just to talk about the game, the game was really close. Schönfire said that every one of these games, they had to work for. Even though some of them look like, okay, 13 gold lead, Dire was one that's quite convincingly, they weren't. You could even say that they had to work for it. And in this game, it was really close. Up until I think we saw the Jax pick finally make a pick on Nah, and that was really the first thing that got this game snowballing. So we can see red buff on Jax is really what wins him this trade, and Swiper knows that he's in trouble. Here comes the TP from LeBlanc, but it's just not enough at this point in the game. He manages to get out, burns the TP, just runs out. This is Chippy's on his best champion versus Swiper on his best champion, and that just shows outscaling, and that snowballed into first Baron, and that's what secured them their first real gold lead.
As a wise man once said, that's a heads-up play. Spawn always says heads-up play. I think that was a heads-up play. Giving the red buff to Jax, I think it just completely caught Swiper off guard.
Yes,
and if he didn't have that red buff, he wouldn't kill him. 100%, he would not kill him without that red. And once, as you said, once they got that pick, it was pretty much not game over, but game in their favor, I should say.
Exactly, yeah, because Swiffer also burns TP to get to that, then isn't able to finish off the kill on Jax. Jax escapes, and the next thing you know, they're at Baron.
Well, yeah, and so that was a pick, right? This game was just a combination of picks. So there was Fantix made a pick on Swiffer actually, which was another game changer for me.
From top lane and mid lane.
In mid lane here, which is where Swiffer goes in. They see he's back out, and then the hook just hits, and they all just completely pile on him and kill him. And it wasn't actually Fantix that got the kill; it was Chippy's. But this breaks open mid. This breaks open the mid inhib, and once your mid inhib's open with a 4-1 comp when your Jax has 6 items, it's pretty much close to impossible to win the game because Nah can't deal with him. Nah's got to deal with the supers as well, and then it's just the Baron bait from there.
The other thing as well is I don't think they had a very good team fight composition, and you could see Direwolves finally getting Schönfire off Elise onto Jarvan, which kind of went unnoticed by everyone. They banned Zac and Gragas and took away the Sejuani, but you could just see once he wasn't on Elise, when he was on an engaged jungler, alongside Destiny's Thresh, which actually made I would argue won them those final picks and those final team fights. The final team fight really just came down to Destiny hitting these hooks. On Morgana, finally turns around. You can see there's so much follow-up damage. A great Nara coming out of Swiper, as you would expect. But really, just Destiny's able to hit the Lanterns all game, the hooks. He hits another one here. Just this guy on this pick has been doing so much work. They end up just snowballing with this gold lead, about 11k at this point. Fantix double kill. Jax with another kill. Just a great performance from the support player from Direwolves.
Absolutely. But you look at that damage graph, and it is Fantix. Look how much damage.
Why does Kalista not do any damage? What is actually happening?
Because Fantix is killing them all before Kalista can rip her spears out.
Stop defending him. How is that actually possible? That is
It's just a 4-1 game.
I feel like either this may be Direwolves' playstyle, but I feel that this shows that they're not necessarily looking to fight.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find reasoning.
Okay.
I thought last game was an outlier.
Let me explain something about these damage graphs. Okay?
Yeah.
These damage graphs, so people often say, well, Jubes, you did less damage than Braum.
Yeah.
And I know why I did less damage than Braum.
Yeah, but we're talking about an 80
Okay,
carry.
but wait, okay, yeah, I agree. Like, he's very low. But I'm just going to say is that when you have a Jax and you're split pushing and you're a jungler or like a bot lane and you're just on wave clear duties, you can't be expected to do that much damage. Like, their win condition is not you. So you have to realize you're just there to clear minion waves, not get caught.
And not die.
And not die.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes damage is really low on someone you'd expect it not to be. But that's because like they're doing their job in the team. It doesn't look great at the end of the game. You're like, he won the game. He did less damage than his support or something like that. Well, yeah, but I won the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, like I won the game. I did my job.
What it tells me is like King doesn't necessarily need to do the damage. He would put a lot of his damage onto the Baron or onto objectives, onto the Dragons, or just necessarily just pushing waves and controlling side waves.
Even at the end when King got picked and we were watching, we were like, oh no, like Swift just killed King. That's it. Like, are they going to run it down mid? Is this going to switch back? But you know, if King's not the one doing all your damage anyway, if you've got Fantix there, it's Flame Horizon. You know,
I can't believe.
Swiffer,
I actually can't believe how well Fantix played this series. Every single game.
Yeah, he had good matchups as well, to be fair. I think they put Swiffer in. I think they put Swiffer on the behind the 8-ball with the matchups he got mid lane.
Even though they had, yeah. All right, well, standing by with Sarian right now is the coach of Direwolf Sharp, friend of the show and guest on this desk on occasion. So let's throw it to them right now for the interview.
Thank you, guys. I'm standing here with Coach Sharp. Now, with the Direwolves going to MSI earlier this year, were you able to take away anything that you think will help you this time around going to Worlds?
Yeah, both our international competitions, both MSI and Rift Rivals were, I would say, like detrimental in giving us this success in the second split. It was just, for us going to MSI was a massive wake-up call. We had to change a lot about how we approached games, drafts, even the experience we got on stage and playing in front of a crowd. Will really set us up well for Worlds, for sure.
Will we see the team going overseas for any boot camps or scrims, or can we expect to see you in Oceania for a bit longer practicing?
Yeah, so we're hoping to head over to Korea to do a bit of a boot camp before we head over to China. So hopefully that will get us in an advantageous position for Worlds.
Riding off this wave from the OPL into Worlds, what are your goals and how far do you think you can go?
Last time we spoke a lot about at MSI. I'm not going to say a definitive place where we're going to end up, but I'm really hoping to put in a world-class performance on our behalf and show the world that, Oceania does have a lot of talent there. And with the support staff, myself and the performance director, really put up a good showing and hopefully to make it deep within the competition.
Well, congratulations, Sharp, on the grand final win. You're coaching as well, and we're all looking forward to seeing you and the Direwolves on the big stage soon.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations there to Sharp. And I feel like his drafts are pretty good today, but I want to talk about two things as we round out this tonight. The first is I just want to spend a little bit more time talking about Chiefs and just, I guess, a send-off for many of these players who potentially may be retiring. We don't know. We don't have those solid facts. But choose Sharp is going to Worlds, right?
Yes.
And that is the dream they've taken from Chiefs, who got to play or got to IWCQ a couple of times, but did not make it all the way in there. So what do you think in terms of an achievement this is for Direwolves compared with Chiefs?
I think Chiefs. One, like this goes straight to Worlds.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to wildcards.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like everyone's like, who's going to be the first OCE team that goes to Worlds? This is kind of like you win OC, you go straight to Worlds.
I think it's like one of those ones where it's like unlucky place, unlucky time.
Yeah.
Where like if
Chiefs won like 3 years in a row.
Exactly.
So like, even though they weren't the first team to represent us, they should be very happy with what they've done.
The dominance they've shown over the last couple of years.
Yes.
And they should be proud of that and,
Yes.
What I would say, and I don't know if they're going to watch this back, I don't even know if they're going to hear this, but what I would say is, like, I don't think it's the end for any of them.
Yeah.
Like, if they really want it, like, if they still had the drive, they actually showed it. They just got Jish back for one split.
Yeah.
And they showed how close they got.
Yeah.
And I think, like, from playing against them, they're good enough to take the top spot. I just think that obviously it's going to hurt now. But I think that when it's all done and dusted, they can look back at it as a learning experience. They've all shown the capability to improve, like Swiper and E-Gym and things like that. So I don't think it's the end for them, and I really hope it's not the end for them.
I mean, it's definitely a hard thing.
Yeah.
So like, if you can see the capability improve.
Yeah. Well, let's turn now to Direwolves And Sharp being a little bit coy there about his expectations. It's almost like like he said, they've learned from the MSI. Yeah,
here's the thing. I liked it because he talked as us as a whole.
Yeah.
You don't hear that much. Like when they went to MSI last year, and even when Chiefs, when they won like everything.
Yeah.
People didn't say okay, let's represent OCE.
Yeah.
Or at least not that I can remember. Maybe they did, and you can call me out if you can. If you can. But in that interview, he was just saying I want to do the best for OCE.
Yeah.
And we're a little island away from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see that this guy's going to do his best for us.
Absolutely.
Little island on the rest of Australia. But
pull out
don't
some Ripper
forget
team
about
fights
the rest
here.
of us.
Pull out some Ripper team fights.
I'll
in
show you a
Shanghai,
team cop or two, mate. They aren't much. But no, I think it was very humbling. I think that was a really humbling interview. It was a big.
Sorry.
That really can I be a comedian? I feel like I can. I feel like I make you laugh.
Easily could.
No,
I'm an easy audience. But continue.
I think that they've definitely. I think they have learned. You know when people say, "Yeah, we've learned our lesson," and you don't know if they have.
Yeah.
I think they have.
Absolutely.
You can tell by the way they talk about the game now, the way they talk about things, and I think it's as an OS fan, because I'm also a fan as much as I am a player.
Yeah.
I think it's very exciting times. I think our best team's gone. Our best team is going, and I think this is the best opportunity we have to do at at an international tournament.
Just want to put this in just a wider view. Is Chiefs 3-0'd you, 3-0'd Legacy, and then got 3-1s by Direwolves 3-1 Chiefs,
which is another level up.
Which is kind of Sin Legacy, it's just you could almost argue it's even stepping, going up.
Maybe Sin Legacy.
I just think Direwolves. I'm really happy that Direwolves are representing us, and it's good to see that they're humble. And I think everyone should support them on Twitter, online, because these guys can go big.
Absolutely, and they're going to play, and they're going to be fighting out with. You're going to see some NA teams against them. You're going to see some EU teams against them.
No one's going to outsmart Levi.
No,
that's only mine.
Well, don't the Gigabyte Marines go straight into Worlds? They do. So you know. If the Direwolves, when the Direwolves make it through,
my boy Levi's safe.
Then Shern can outsmite Levi. That's when it can happen.
That's all he wants.
Yeah,
he just wants to strip your title.
Maybe you can hit up Direwolves. See if you can go as a specialist sub for smiting.
Make content videos.
Another thing,
plugging my Twitter, by the way.
I want to touch on that. This is really hard because Direwolves don't have anyone to practice against anymore.
Yeah.
Every other OPL team, if you don't a lot of fans and people don't realize this, is that there's no reason for him, for me, if I was a player to play, there's no reason for Chiefs to play because there's nothing else to play for. So Direwolves are sitting at home, just trying to get any practice they have.
Potentially they go to a boot camp. Potentially.
That's the only other thing.
They also got next gamer to play.
They also have, but you really hope that they have some strategy or some form of efficient practice going into Worlds.
You just made me laugh.
All right. Well, let's for everyone here at the OPL, we'd like to say congratulations to Direwolves being able to take out that victory today. We'd like to thank you at home for watching. I'd like to thank Choo Choos and Juves for being here. I'd like to thank Serian for doing our questions today, as well as Spawn and Trish for casting. Everyone in the control room for doing our broadcast. And we'll see you all very, very soon. Good night.
Swiper flashes forward. Spooks gets the kill on top of that. Redemption comes through, keeping the mid lane of the Direwolves alive. Raze will be knocked back here, dropping the base on top of everyone else. That's all over. Swiffer's running away. Swiper's trying to be a nuisance. Big pulverize coming up from Egypt, but is it enough? The Hail Mary play from Spooks did not work, but it's a clinical game one for the Direwolves. Going in, can he get the petrifying gaze? He does. Good damage delivered to the back line. Spooks jumps in. Look at Big Swims. He's already taken down Fantix. However, Chippies gets the return kill. Baron picked up by the Direwolves. Chiefs are trying to fight this one back. Big Swims will not lose today. He's already got on a double. No cleanse available for Fantix. Big Nah locks down King as well. The Chiefs pull on in. Big Swims will not lose, and they get 3 kills in that team fight. He's going to go for the spike contest. He gets it. Showfire has stolen Baron away from the Chiefs. He brings Spooks into the team as well. What a disaster. Big petrifying gaze as well. Direwolves are trying to cut this one out. Is it going to be enough? Raze gets Fantix. Will take down 2 for his troubles. Running away from the Acathian surprise. Lives through it. And look at Big Swift. He's killed King. Swift was pushed pushing forward. What a team fight from the Chiefs, but the Direwolves collapse. They ace the Chiefs. They're going to take game 2 as they march towards the Nexus here. What a fantastic performance. They're at match point. They want to go to Worlds, and they can taste it. They are so close. Oh, that's a Flash Cuckoo. Solo kill from Schönfire. And a big kill in the bottom lane as both Swiffer and Swiper make their way down. Schönfire's going to fall first. Swiffer gets that kill. Spooks will charge out and live with a sliver of health. Fantics now. There goes Big Swims in the back lines, and the Chiefs will clean up. No mercy from the Chiefs. They're trying to get back into this series. They denied the first match point from the Direwolves, and they're going to take us to game number 4. Is Counter-Strike back up? They lock down Chippy's flash on him for first blood. Schönfire slides into Swiper's DM and returns a kill.
Both of those just missed, but whoa!
Oh, King forced the flash away, but CMA, cool guys don't look at explosions, and Swiffer gets a solo kill. And Spooks locking him down. Might be able to pick up the kill. Oh, Fantix! Styles on Swiffer again. He's out. Dark Passage brings him out. Spooks will dodge the hook. Flash away for Swiper. Blast Code's not there. Chippy's smacks him with the hockey stick. Black Shield's there for Spooks. Hook is on. Swiffer trying to get damage to the back lines. Not going to be the case. Chippies gets that kill.
Swiffer got hooked.
Oh, the hook is on, and Swiffer has to jump out. He's dead. Swiffer's dead. Direwolves push towards the base of the Chiefs. It could be all over right here. Swiffer's killed King. This is the team fight for the Chiefs. They're looking for it. Aegis in the back line protecting Raze. Teleport's coming in. Demacia thrown down by Shun. Swiffer in the back lines again. Distorts out. Chippies trying to take down Spooks. Big Swims here as well, but he's in mini form. Just keeping Fantix preoccupied. The Chiefs win a team fight by taking down King. Hooks on. Big Swims has gone mega, but they kill the support. Big Nara into the wall. Chippies goes to the GA. Swiffer jumps in, looking to kill Schönfire, but he will flag drag his way out. Now Distorting back in. Can't connect the chain. And Destiny. Hook is on. Swiffer is dead. Ray locked down Raze. Chippies gets that kill. And Spooks is stuck between the entire wall pack. Double kill for Fantix. They're running towards the Nexus.
And Direwolves will go to World. 4 members dead. Just Big Swift left available. He's going to have to do it by himself, Fish. But I don't even think the top laner of the Chiefs can pull this one off.
Not even his IWNL can stop this push from the Direwolves. They're just waiting for the minions to come back in. Destiny flashes in with the flame, misses the hook, and Swiper watches helplessly as Direwolves take him down. They take down the turrets. They're onto the Nexus. Direwolves will be the first team from Oceania to go to the World Championship.